Hello, welcome to the video.
So I was thinking of doing something a little different this time, and I was like, why don't I make a video about the books that I get from the library while I'm reading them? So yeah, so today I did go to the library and I got myself 2 books because one of them was not available because I still don't understand how the app works. So what books did I get and what books will I be reading in this video? The first book is bam, Fortune. This is the 5th book in the Blackwater series. By now, if you have watched the last videos or if you're watching them and it's me from the future, you know what Blackwater is about. I've been reading one of these in every video basically, and finally we're getting almost to the end. The ending is gonna be the next book, so like the 6th. This is the 5th. Very pretty cover. The Fortune, yes. Okay, then I was searching for some other thing, like on the last minute, that I wanted to read this month, which is October, which is Halloween related. And I was like, why don't I read Frankenstein by Mary Shelley? This is the 1818 version of the book, which is uncensored. So I'm very excited actually. It looks big, but it's not. Cause like, I mean, is it big? It might be big. Wait. It might be big. But I'm really excited about this, honestly. Okay, so I did start the first book for this video. And that is The Fortune by Michael McDowell. This is, I swear that I'm gonna be done with this series very, very soon. And I'm really excited about that. But it also makes me relieved not to have to summarize this series all over again in every video, because I have been in the past, like what, 4, 5 videos. La Fortuna. This is book 5, the penultimate book in this series. I am so excited. You don't even know. I have stopped thinking about this series as a horror because I'm gonna admit this to you. This is not packed with horror. I think there is 1 or 2 big horror events for every book, and the rest is just family in its generations, in its new beginnings, new ends. It's just so nice. I'm not saying this in a bad way. I'm just saying that I am growing up with them. I am seeing this family evolve and change and grow, but it's just so very exciting. It is so comforting because I've grown attached to all of them, and it's very nice to find out more and more about all of them, even though, you know, we've talked about them for so long. So it's weird to think that there's still much to know and to realize and to understand and to get to know. But it's getting better and better. This is a great series. I am about 25% in. These books are very easy to read. They're very fast-paced and they're very short. This is only 250 pages, and it's kind of like the same amount of pages for every book in the series. So I'm gonna fly through this, except for the fact that it's a buddy read. I am buddy reading this whole series with a friend of mine, the friend who introduced me to this series in the first place. And so it's gonna go a little slow because of that. I am kind of holding myself back to wait for him to catch up, honestly, but he's very busy, so I understand that. I am the free one in this time of my life. Luckily, I'm very lucky about that. But yeah, so far so good. There have been confirmations of theories of the past. There are LGBTQ characters in this series, even though it is a series that was written a long time ago. I think the series was published in the 1980s or 1990s. Yeah, 1983. And there are LGBTQ characters, which I kind of just got the confirmation about. And it's just really, really refreshing. It's making me quite happy. A character that I really, really like is evolving as well. Sister is having a new arc on this, and I'm really excited about this. But again, since this is what I read and I'm gonna have to slow down a bit, I think I might start with Frankenstein. I'm really excited about this. Kind of scared because I don't read a lot of classics, so this is gonna be exciting. Plus I do have like a deadline for the library for both of these. That's very soon, on the 11th of November, which is not that soon, but it's not that far either, especially considering that I'm going back home in Calabria like a few days before. So I need to work on these both and just get them back to the library before I leave, so right after my graduation. Hello, so I am finally starting Frankenstein. So this edition particularly has a lot inside. It does not just have Frankenstein. As you can see, the book is not that big by itself. There is a ton of bibliography. There's a ton of just extra things. So what I did is, thanks to this little magnetic bookmark, I am tabbing the actual ending of the book, and this is where I am. So like, this is a lot of like, just not the book. Okay, so the book starts right here. So I am about to read this much. You know, you get what I mean. So let's start reading, I guess. Okay, so I did not know that Frankenstein was told in this way. I honestly just like kind of knew what it was about, of course, and I did, I think, read a few passages in school, but I didn't know that it was gonna be told like this, and this is very interesting. Apparently, we are being told the story of what happened through the letters of an explorer that meets Victor Frankenstein, and that is very fascinating, and I'm really intrigued. So the creature just opened its eyes, and I am excited. So I am going to bed, but I was reading Frankenstein, and I was not expecting to like sympathize so much with Frankenstein, because like the story's very much focusing on this, like on his life and his affects, I guess, like his family and his friends, and it's very heartwarming, and it's like you get to love this character and love his family. So like, I don't know, it's just not what I imagined, knowing what I know about the story. Okay, so I need to talk about this. I promise I'm not, I mean, I am wearing the same thing. I am, okay? That's fine. Anyways, I've gone a little ahead with Frankenstein, and I'm kind of in the middle. Yeah, I'm kind of in the middle. We are finally seeing we are getting more from the monster, and it's crazy because I was gonna say, I'm not gonna spoil it to anybody. This came out like 1,000 years ago. What's important is that I think it's crazy that we're getting the story told by someone who's telling a story with somebody telling them a story. What? This is peak, and I am loving the backstory, but like what we missed out on the monster side, because we're finally seeing that, and this is so exciting. I am enjoying this. I am really enjoying this, and I can't wait to go even further To be fair, I really read a lot because I've been on the bus for so many years. It did give me an opportunity to read a lot from it. So now I'm kind of tired and I don't want to like not enjoy it. So I think I'm just gonna stop today and try to go through it like in the next 2 or 3 days to finish it, because I need to return this ASAP. So I had gone out to enjoy the fall season, which is my favorite, but apparently mosquitoes are still a thing. So I brought, sorry about that, I brought the fall back to my house. Yeah. So excuse the lighting, but I am 50 pages away from finishing Frankenstein. And we are at a point in the book in which we also got told the side of the story of the monster. And it was a very long story about everything that happened ever since his creation. And so you also do get to empathize with him. Because like a few clips before, I think I mentioned that I was not sure how we were supposed to hate and villainize Frankenstein if we were being like put in the position of understanding him and knowing him and making us care for his family and friends. But now we got to the point, I got to the point in which the monster asks Victor if he's gonna at least grant him the wish to have a companion. So a female version of him that is not gonna be scared of him and is not gonna be disgusted by him, and with whom he's gonna run away with in a very far away place from population. Of course, Victor does accept at first, and he goes to England and then Scotland to start studying again and trying to make this project work. But now he's having a fight with the monster in which he's completely ruining the plan, and he is not willing to make him a companion. And I understand now how we were supposed to hate him, because after being told the story and the perspective of the monster, you also do kind of start feeling for him and understanding that everything came from a place of loneliness and denial of love and just a whole lot of very sad feelings. And Frankenstein is not very ready, I would say, to follow up on his on the consequences of his actions, and to at least put everything to an end, because honestly I do understand the risks of creating another creature like this, because it does make sense. It does. The thing is, why are you not putting an end to this poor creature's life and his sufferings and all of this? Why are you so scared of doing this while you were totally at fault for the murder of Justine, who was accused of the murder of his brother? He knew the truth and he didn't do anything to save her or to put the blame on himself. The only thing he did was to let her die. And while I do recognize that there is a lot of regret and sorrow and anxiety, and he is very sorry and very conscious of what he's doing, but still he's not acting upon it. And I think that's what's making him the monster rather than the monster itself. And I think that's really beautiful. I am really enjoying this so much. So they did just find a body on the side of the river, and they're accusing Victor again. And we just found out who the body was. I mean, yeah. I am in utter shock. Yeah, that's all I have to say. I finished it yesterday night. I sprinted through it because I wanted to finish it before October ended. Yes, it is the 1st of November, and I have given this book 5 stars. This was just incredible. Even though it's such a famous story, I was still shocked. I was still surprised, and I still didn't know what I was expecting, which is something that just makes the whole experience of reading. So highly recommend it if you still haven't picked it up. Also, if you don't really like classics, I personally don't read a lot of classics because it's just not my vibe, but this was really good. And it made me want to read more from the author, from Mary Shelley. So who knows, maybe I'll pick it up. I loved how the story developed. I love how it was just so hard to empathize and not empathize with all of the characters. It was a tragic story about regret, about ambition, about grief, about anxiety. This was a perfect portrayal of all of those things, and the ending I particularly loved. I think was really satisfying. It was really, it did feel like a good conclusion to the story. I am really regretting not reading this before, but I also think that I read it at the perfect time because I started it like around the 27th and finished it on Halloween. So I think I couldn't have done better, honestly. So what I'm missing is a whole other book. I mean half of the other book, because as you can see I'm like 35% into The Fortune by Michael McDowell, and I have only 3 days to finish this. And once again, I am buddy rating this, so I'm not sure I will be able to, but we will try and see how it goes. Okay, so I am in the middle, a little more than the middle of The Fortune, and it is taking a very wild turn. Very creepy and just upsetting, I guess, turn of events. I can't really talk too much about it because it is just the 5th book in the series, but I'm still really enjoying it. It's just I wish things went well for everybody because I'm so attached to everybody now. Hello, I feel like in this video I'm only wearing this jumper, but I swear to you it is clean. I only use it to film, basically, like to not wear my pajamas or be naked, and I've never gone out with it, so it's totally clean. Don't worry, do not worry. So this is the final update of the video. I'm really excited about that because I did finish The Fortune on time. I didn't think I was because I was kind of like, it was taking me a long time, but I powered through it. And I also had my friend who I was reading it with in the house with me. So it was a very fun experience. It was really nice. I ended up loving the book. I gave it 4.75 stars. I mean 4 stars and 7, yeah, whatever. I cannot wait to read the last one, but I'm still like, but I'm also terrified and like trying to procrastinate it as much as possible because I don't want it to end. Because it's just like so comforting for me. It's a horror saga, and it's comforting for me. I don't know. I love the characters so much, and I feel like every book they grow so much, like not just by age, because they also do, because like time is like you follow the whole generation and everything, so like they grow up in the real sense of the word, but also how they develop as characters, like how they are written. And I'm just so happy with almost every direction that the author has taken for each character, except for this one, the last bit. And I can say who the character is because that doesn't imply like what direction it is going for. But the character is Frances. She has become, in the past few books, I think in the past 2 books, or like 2.5, she became one of my favorites. And so I understand like why it went into the direction. It totally makes sense. Like narratively speaking, it totally makes sense. I just don't want it to go that way because, you know, I'm just really, really attached to everybody. And also Medium has developed in the greatest way possible. I love that girl so much. And Grace, and I'm even starting to like Eleanor for some reason, which is like the kind of the villain of the first book. Crazy to think how things changed. I also did change my opinion on Sister, because I was like, since book 2, which kind of gave her a more of an arc, like more of a personality and like her own story and everything. It's going to a direction I don't really like, but that does not like make me not like the book or like feel disappointed or anything, because the author is just so good at it. And I'm just like so incredibly in love with this series. And you guys, or whatever, whoever is watching this, or if I'm watching this 10 years from now, please go reread that shit because it's just so fucking good. So good. So good. So this is the end of the video. I had great fun. I loved both of the books that I got. And I was thinking of like doing this again. Making like a library video again, because it's just really fun for me. But I think I'm gonna make it more interesting next time, because I'm gonna be in Rome, and hopefully I can film the whole process, because I had this idea after getting the books. So I wanna bring the vlog along like the whole process. So yeah, thank you for watching if you did. This video will go up really, really late because I didn't bring any of my stuff in Calabria. So for 10 days, I cannot edit this video. But, yeah, see you for the next one. Thank you.